So hi and welcome back, and I've got an interesting video this week. I'm going to try and take photographs that look like they were taken in the 1970s. Now, it's not just a straightforward, like I'm going to go out with some film and do that. There's a few things. There's three things that are going to be in it. One of them is it needs to be an expired film, which I already have. The second thing is it's got to be a colour film, colour photographs. And the third thing is it gets disqualified if there are anything more modern in the shot than the 1980s. So an example would be, so there's a car you can see in the distance, or something like a flat screen monitor you can see in the distance, they're disqualified. So basically I'm going to go to London. I've got an early start tomorrow morning, take these photographs, and then when they've been developed we can go through them. But you'll see a couple of shots on the way as we go through, because I'm gonna hold back until I get the film developed. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. So hi and welcome back, and up and about early in London. You can see might be able to see my reflection in the window, and lovely sign. Now, I've actually just done a shot of that, although that defeats the object of why I'm meant to be doing what I'm doing today anyway. So the idea is, can I get with film photographs that have the trappings of the 1970s? And I think it's going to be really hard, because you don't have that grunge you used to have and the smog you had in the 1970s. So I'm going to try a few different places, and I'm heading towards Smithfield's Market in a few minutes. I used to work in an office just by Smithfield's Market and Barbican Tube Station, but I might be able to get a nice shot of this, of the frontage of the tube station, Farringdon Tube Station. Now, here's the problem. I'm trying to make it look proper. So there's an old, there's a closed Pret in front of me, which is a modern building. So the idea is actually to get stuff that isn't that is not that. We're trying to get stuff that make it look like it's timeless, and as I said, that's what's going to make it hard. But if I go the other way, or if I go flat onto it, it might work. If I do something just like there, obviously I'm only working with a 50mm lens, so if I'm just like that, it might actually work. So we'll give it a go. So all I could do was, literally, I couldn't, even from the entrance I had trouble, because obviously you've got the modern gates in the distance and they'd be noticeable. So I just basically pointed a bit further up. So I got the Farringdon sign and the entrance sign, and then Metropolitan Railway as well. So that could probably pass. But obviously, even looking towards the Timpsons, they were about then. But again, it's all modern. So I'm going to go somewhere now. It's funny, even though I worked on Aldersgate Street for a while, I always come out of the building and headed towards Farringdon area to get some food for lunch and that sort of stuff. And I never turned left out of Barbican Tube Station, and there's actually a housing estate there that it's a 1960s build, and I'm going to go a bit more into that as time goes on. But I'm just going to go and find it first. And it's not and I'm not talking about the Barbican. I'm not talking about the Barbican Centre. I'm literally talking about another estate which was built just before the Barbican. You see the Barbican in the distance up there, I think. But before that was finished, there was another estate there which had better amenities than the Barbican did. So, and it was in a little BBC video on YouTube the other day, and I watched it and I thought, yeah, that could work. There's some bits there I could photograph that actually give it that vibe. So, well before the Elizabeth line was complete, there used to be this old building here, and it had this, I wish I could find the actual photograph. I took a photograph of, there was like a door, but it was that old, all the paint was flaking off, and all in different layers and all in different colours, and it made a really great shot. And at the time, I can't remember, I shot it on some sort of cheap compact camera, but it was a digital, it was an early digital camera. Anyway, so just out of interest, they actually filmed part of Doctor and the Dinosaurs here when the the doctor was looking for this underground base, and he was using this thing to find out where it was. And he drove along here, and there was a couple of dinosaurs that had a fight just over there. It was just quite interesting. Another little story for you. Back in the 1980s, one of my first jobs was working for a company called Harvey Hubble. We used to make these lamps and lampposts, not the posts but the actual lamps and the globes, and they look very similar, although they've obviously got newer lights or lamps inside them. And yeah, it's kind of weird seeing them. And that would pass as at least 1980s, so I might get a shot of that from this angle over towards there, because they were around, trust me, they were around, and I was built, I think it was 1984, 85, I worked for Harvey Hubble, so I think I'll include that. As I say, the problem is it's still so dark, although it's getting on towards 6 o'clock, and yeah. Okay, so you wanted that 1970s vibe? Well, you've got it here, haven't you? In spades. So I'm going to come back a little bit later on, and where do they go? Oh, they're just, oh, I see, is like an underground car park type thing. But look at it, this is like, this is exactly the sort of thing you could get away with taking a shot and it passing for the 1970s. All you need is just mid shot of that building over there. But looking at that that building there, the glass fronted one. Now I know that was unusual about this was, although it was a council type estate, it had its own swimming pool, and it's got tennis courts down there as well, which is really, really unusual for the type of place it is. So it's kind of an interesting place, and that would make a nice shot of these stairs, the triangular type shape, and that building behind. So yeah, this really, really works well. So I'm going to go around the other side, have a wander around, then I'm going to head for a coffee, and then I'll probably pop back later on and get a few shots. So I'm still here, thinking about this. I think this would really work well in black and white. And look at these like corridors down there. Wouldn't that look be great, like with a bit of XP2 or some FP4, HP5? That would work really, really well. So that'd be interesting to do. As I say, I've never been on this estate before, so I don't know really what's here, other than the fact I did take a little look in Google Maps. But look at this, it's so desperately 1960s and 70s. Look at this, and it's wonderful. So, other than the packet of Pringles down there, oh dear, would I have to Photoshop? Perhaps. But you can see, yeah, so I'm going to get a shot of this later on. I'm going to come back. So I'll definitely have to come back with some black and white film. Look at this this wonderful grid here, but it would work so much better as a black and white shot rather than a colour shot. But I'm going to be back because I can take so many great shots, so many, even like down there, minimalist type stuff along there. So really pleased I found this place. I'm going to walk back over to the Barbican, and then we'll head back to London Bridge shortly. Okay, so we're not going to just end it like that with you just seeing the last bit of footage me out and about. I just wanted to go over a few of these photographs and just to show you how difficult it is to get these type of shots now. I did get a few that I'm really, really pleased with. Well, in fact, this photograph here, I have actually had a print out of it. It's on order now, and really, really pleased with it. Now, just so you know, this is my expired film of Fuji C35. I've got the negatives back, and it looks like there's nothing unusual about them. They look completely normal. So the actual film has lasted 10 years longer, and I shot it at 100 ISO instead of 200, and that's why I was having difficulty when I was at the estate trying to get photographs done. So I'm just going to go through a few of these and show you things on them that make it either, yes, it's a successful shot, or it's not a successful shot by what you see in the image. So the Farringdon shot, yeah, it's a success. I don't think there's anything really in there that couldn't be passed of the 1970s. Now, when I get to the end of the video, I'll say to you what I think will be good films to use that mock up that 1970s feel. And this is that shot of the Barbican again. Now, the thing about this is that it was just so, you wouldn't believe how dull this was. And I've probably got a little bit, I have got some camera shake on there. It was down at about a 30th of a second when I took this shot, 1.7. Now we're at the estate, and right, here's one that fails. I'd have to crop this slightly to get the actual type of thing I wanted. There you go. You can see a modern car in the corner with a roof rack on it. So that kind of fails, but I guess if I zoomed in a bit, it would work. And again, you can see the cars down here. I'm being really, really picky on this, but these are things, this was the idea, this was the fun part of it. I am going to go back to this estate. I am going to photograph it in black and white, because I think it'd be really, really, really cool to do that. And yeah, I'm going to give this one a pass. I'm guessing there's probably things on the balconies that aren't quite right. But it gives that, you know, if you gave it to someone and they looked at it with the type of grain and all that sort of thing, they would struggle to say it wasn't the 1970s. And again, this one as well, very, very 1970s trappings with the fences and the type of the building in the background and the trees. So it's really, really hard to tell. Likewise, this one, perhaps these modern cleaning products in the window. Again, I'm being really, really critical. Like this one a lot, with the red and the yellow and the green of the tree. Really enjoying this. I mean, I really enjoyed doing this actual shoot. It was real fun. I was tired. I've been up all night, but it was really great fun to get down and do these shots. And actually in the video I edited it out saying I wouldn't take a colour shot of this, and I did. Now I am going to go back, as I said, and use some black and white. I don't know what film yet. Why not? Please, look, I have comments and people are not commenting, or they are commenting but not as much as I'd like. Comment what type of film you want me to use, a black and white film, doing these photographs again. And a few you haven't seen, this one is looking towards the Barbican. And I like the colour on the outside of this building, and these here modern lampposts, no good. And I just took a few other shots. This is on Southwark Bridge, and you can see obviously the post office tower in the background, but obviously there's Blackfriars railway station and the Millennium Bridge. So you're getting how complex this can be. And this is obviously Clink Street, and I just wanted to try and get a nice shot and see how it come out with the archway like that. So I don't know if it's the next photograph or the photograph afterwards. It's a real gotcha, because I really, really thought about this one a great deal. And I'd seen these and I thought, if I can't get anything, this photograph will pass. And there you go. Jubilee Walk, 1977. Perfect. They were embedded in the ground in London in 1977 for the Jubilee Walk. So I went back to the estate and I took some more shots. Again, you could say about these modern type of seats here, but you know, looking at this it works. And that one, yeah, that's fine. That passes for me. I remember seeing these big horrible circular concrete thingies. Yeah, and they used to put like plants in them and stuff. It was awful. And again, looking back, so I've basically where you saw the yellow tower block, I've turned away. It's back. It's to the reverse of that. Yep, and a few more of the estate, and this one I really like with the actual shot of the big yellow tower block, and then the Barbican in the background. Anyway, so what film would I recommend you use if you were to try this yourself? And I would say one of two films. I would say Ilford Phoenix, because it gives that the vibrance, those type of colours from the 1970s, and also the Orwo NC500. I think that would work well as well. So why not give those a go? Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.